When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hey guys, welcome to The Mission. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton, and as always, we have a great show for you today. And as you can see, I'm reporting inside the Black College Football Hall of Fame Gallery, where this year's class has been announced. And over the course of these next podcasts, we're going to get a chance to meet members from this year's Black College Football Hall of Fame 2022 class. And joining me today is the pride of Grambling State University, Minnesota Vikings legend, Mr. Sammy White is joining us right here on The Mission. Welcome to The Mission, sir.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. Well, first and foremost, congratulations to you. What does this honor mean, Mr. White? When you received the notice that you're going to be in this year's class, what did that mean to you and your family?
Well, the first thing is to make my wife smile. And you know, she was a school teacher, so, you know, school teacher fuss. So she's been fussing about this for a minute.
But she's been fussing in the sense that you deserve to be in this class?
There you go. And, you know, she's one of the people, you know, other people was pushing and she was one of the people out front pushing too. But it means so much to me because, you know, everybody want to have a legacy, especially when you don't play sports and stuff. And, you know, I do have so many things that have happened to me in sports, but this one enshrined me forever. And, you know, when I have my kids have kids and they have kids, there'll be a place where they can come and say, this is my father, this is my grandfather, this is my great-grandfather.
That's right. We're inside. We're here in the gallery. And as you can see, a lot of these men, I'm standing right next to Mr. Whitson Hill, and who is dear to my heart because I got a chance to meet him. He played for the New York Jets, and he was inducted into last year's class, and he's here. And you're going to be in this room amongst some of the great people, I mean, in Canton, Ohio, at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Do you get chills when you think of it?
Yes. You know, people before me, you know, like James Harris, you know, when I was in junior high, he came and took me to a Grambling game, and you know, I fell in love with Black college football at that time. And at that time too, they had Eddie Robinson show come on every Sunday morning, and I'm dressing for church and gonna be late. My mom about to throw something at me, but I want to see that Eddie Robinson show, which, you know, it would just hype me up, just made me want to be in Grambling at an early age.
Well, let's talk about that. Why Grambling, and what did it mean for you to attend a historical Black college such as Grambling?
Well, you know, when I came out of high school, I was a high school All-American as a receiver. And, you know, scholarships was coming from everywhere. And, you know, it was like time Eddie Robinson walked through that door of my living room, it was over. I was ready to sign on the dotted line. And, you know, there's so many life lessons that you learn when you go to an institution like that. You know, you hit a campus and, you know, it's like you don't know them, don't know people, but, you know, a couple of friends might go there with you. But after a few months there, it's like everybody on campus welcome you and get to know you. And then, you know, going to class and everything, your professors want to know your first name, want to know what you're doing. It's just a great family relationship.
You said James Shaq Harris. Wow. What do you recall watching him? And you said the legendary Eddie Robinson, you know, those fond memories of those two great men who truly built the foundation of Grambling State football. What did it mean to just be in their midst and to get to know those two men?
Well, first of all, James Harris and I is from the same neighborhood.
Oh.
We're from the same neighborhood. So, you know, he been someone that kept up with me and I kept up with him, you know, at a young age. And, you know, even when he was in high school, I was probably in junior high or something. On Friday evening, I want to jump on a bus and get over there to see their gang and everything. And, over the years, we just developed a friendship that, still lasts and carry on this day. But to play for Coach Robinson, it's hard to put it in words because, the one first thing he going to preach to you is, you didn't just come here to play football. You came to get an education. And then he won't say, we want you to come here as a young man, but when you leave here, we want you to be a full-grown man. And those kind of lessons stick with you for the rest of your life.
Wow, that's amazing. And you had a chance to cross paths with quarterback Doug Williams. What was it like playing with him, and what made him so special, Mr. White?
Well, first of all, we had to teach him how to throw the football. He didn't know. He didn't know but one way to throw, and that was hard. So I got to play with him my senior year, and the thing about it, once we tell him, we can beat our guys, but if you throw that ball line drive all the time, it's hard to make that adjustment. But once he learned how to, have that touch on the ball, she became a Heisman Trophy candidate. But it was fun playing with him, and we friend all through the league, and every time we played against each other, it was just good camaraderie, and he was one of the best quarterbacks I ever played with.
I got to ask you, about some of the fond memories of the games that you played at Grambling, but I really got to go to the classic because here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we're entering our third year with the Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic. You could speak to playing in those legendary classics. Tell us about them.
Well, a classic is just something special, between the bands and the fans. It's just so much excitement going on. When you just come on the field and, just start looking around, and then when we get close to game time, the bands crank up, I would say us as Black people, some things just get us going. And that was definitely one thing, get me going and keep me going. And hopefully at the end of the day, we put on a show for the fans, and hope the band enjoyed it too, because they always entertain us.
Before we dive in and talk about how you were drafted in the second round, 54th overall by the Minnesota Vikings, how did Grambling prepare you for the next level?
Well, like I say, guys, we always had so many guys playing professional football. And in the off season, those guys would come back to Grambling and work out with us in the spring. And, they teach us so much. So we kind of have a head start. But, every day at practice at Grambling, it was a serious competition, between one-on-one with the defensive back and everything. No one want to lose. But it makes you work hard and understand the value. If you want to get something, how hard you got to work.
Mr. White, we're in April, and we're approaching the NFL draft. And if you want to relive those moments with us, what was that process like for you when you were being drafted?
The funnest part of it is, it's like I heard from every team in the league but the Minnesota Vikings. And, we don't have things go at Grambling where people sit around waiting on the draft and everything, and it don't happen for them, and, make for them to have a miserable day. So on draft day for me, I was just moving around campus, and someone told me I had to go to the athletic office. I was hanging around the student union and say they believe you've been drafted. So I didn't sit and wait. I just was hoping and praying that I would. And once I did, got that phone call and talked to Mr. Grant, it was a big relief for me.
What was it like? Go ahead.
And the next thing I was doing was calling my mom. and my wife, we high school sweetheart, and she attended Grambling too. So, I had to let her in on it too.
Wow. What was it like day one walking in that locker room? You speak of the competition, about how other players will come back to Grambling and kind of coach you guys up on the ins and outs. But for you, it seems like you walked in that locker room and you hit the ground running.
Well, like I say, by having Shaq them in the neighborhood and then coming back to Grambling and everything, they prepared me. When I went to Minnesota, it wasn't all good because I almost was psyching myself out because I was concentrating so hard on these professional defensive back, and that I got to find a way that I can win on my routes with the defensive back, and I'd be winning on the route, but I wasn't catching the ball. And one of the good part was we were playing 6 preseason games at that time. And
6 preseason.
6 preseason games.
But I had to pause there for a second. Like 6 preseason games. By the time you guys got to the season, you were worn out.
But I needed them because Bud started me about the 4th preseason game, and I got in game and was winning again, defensive back, but dropping balls again, and they pulled me out the game. And then actually the last preseason game, he said, well, okay, you're going to start again. So I started and ended up catching the winning touchdown. And from that point on, I was good.
Wow.
I did a Zoom call with Minnesota a couple months ago, and Bud Grant was on the call. And I asked Bud, I say, Bud, I was dropping all them balls and stuff. How did you keep me? Why didn't you cut me? And he told me, say, you was my pick. I said, oh, Lord, thank you.
But then you go on. I know you were dealing with trials and tribulations early on, but you won Rookie of the Year, and then you had back-to-back Pro Bowls. So something must have clicked for you.
Yeah, like I say, when he put me back in and I caught the winning touchdown, I was good from that point on. I guess you could say wasn't no stopping me, so I was good.
Wow. Now you had the opportunity, your quarterback, to play with Pro Football Hall of Famer Fran Tarkington. Did you realize early on that that Fran was going to be a Hall of Famer? I mean, what was it like being in the huddle with him and in and around the locker room?
It was great because even when I got to the Vikings and stuff, I think he felt that I had good hands because he would pull me to a side a lot and just throw balls as hard as he could at me, and I just be catching it like it ain't no problem. And wow. I think he had more confidence in me than I did at the beginning, but when it's all said and done, Fran, he's just a great character, but he's a hard playing football player, and he was very, very intelligent and smart on that field. A lot of time we'd be in the huddle, and the offensive coordinator sent in a play, and Fran would say, "That ain't gonna work. We're gonna do this." Usually when he say we're doing this, he's usually right.
Wow. And also another HBCU fellow brother that you had the chance to play with, the first African-American punter, Greg Coleman. What was it like having him in and around the locker room?
Oh, Greg was great. Because, I've been in the league probably three years before Greg came over to Minnesota anyway. But anyway, I had never seen a punter that can direct kick, and he came out there with barrels in the corner of the football field and kicking in the ball, going in the barrels. I mean, he was doing some amazing thing. And he did, and it lasted for a good long time, and he deserved to be where he is.
Wow. Just doing the research, you were a part of the fabric in Minnesota and really bringing them back to Super Bowl, not saying Super Bowl glory, but their fourth Super Bowl appearance. You were part of that and listed as one of the greatest 50 Viking players of all time. Like, so that hard work, everything that you learned along the course of your career, which started way before Grambling with your family, but however, with Grambling, what does that say to you? Like, how does that, when you sit back and kind of just reminisce, because I'm looking at that picture right behind you, and I see that young fellow in that Minnesota Vikings, your uniform, do you pinch yourself sometimes and go, wow, this was an amazing career, my legacy?
Yeah, well, it's kind of had to go back to my parents, which, both of them are deceased now. And truthfulness, I can't give my mom enough hugs and kisses simply because of the fact when I was in high school, summertime, young, don't really know no better. And they've been through a tough training and stuff. And we was going through this tough training and workout for summer. And I decided, me and my friend, we decided this is too tough. We wasn't gonna play no more. So we just say we gonna throw in the towel. And then we was hanging out at my house, and before we know it, the bus pulled up in front of the house, and people started running there where the coach say, "Ho, get yourself on this bus." And they getting ready to load up, and everybody was on the bus except me. And one of the guys say, "Well," they called me June, say, "June not on the bus." And I was hiding out in the attic. And then my mom, when the coach came back to knocked on the door and told my mom that I wasn't on the bus, and she wanted to say, "Mr. All-America, you want to play football? Come on down. So if you start something, you're not gonna quit." So when she put me in that situation, it was no quitting. And I was gonna try to do the best and be the best I could from that point on. And some of the escalade that is coming my way, I know she would be proud, and it do make me feel good and excited, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Mr. White, are you going to feel tears of joy come Juneteenth when you put on that black jacket and you see that emblem, Black College Football Hall of Famer?
All I know, I've been trembling ever since they announced I was being elected. It's one of them things, it's going to be a feeling that come over you. I mean, I got a feeling now. So I know in that moment, it's going to be even a bigger deal. And, how I'm going to handle it, I can't say, because I can't cry.
Yeah, well, them tears are going to carry over to Labor Day weekend when you and your family come here in Canton, Ohio, and you see your plaque up here in this gallery, along with being announced on the football field at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, the new class.
And thing is, some of them guys that's already there, I know some of them and been around, proud of a whole bunch of them. And just to see my name up there with there is totally joy.
Before I let you go, sir, who are some of the people that you would like to thank?
Well, first of all, I got to thank my wife. And down the way, you got to thank Coach Robinson, and definitely want to thank James Harris and, Doug Will, and, my coaches in Minnesota. My mom, my father, and just one more story. When I was in high school, my parents brought my grandparents to a game, and they were so excited at the game and stuff because they didn't know what football was, never been to a football game. And after the game was over and everything, we had won, and I went up to them, to give them a hug and kiss. And they say, "Oh, you just like a rabbit. You just be here, just be there, just here, there." I said, wow. So it's a whole list of people, even my children, want to thank my children and my brothers and my sisters. So Yep. And, my grandkids look at me now and, a lot of times they don't understand, things I have done. But, the older they get, they understand a little bit more. So, I appreciate them too.
That's amazing, sir. Well, Mr. White, we can't wait to celebrate your excellence right here in Canton, Ohio, Labor Day weekend. And we're so looking forward to having you here. Mr. White, Mr. Sammy White, right here on the mission, guys. Let's give it up.
Can't wait to get
joining
there. All right.